BMRforum.com and BMRodds.com, boys. What is going on? Welcome back. Episode number 124 of The Lobby. Sam is all excited down there, looking really sharp with their all red outfit there, Sammy.
Yeah, I'm actually not too excited. Today's technically my day off, but when you're a company man and you run a two-man department,
Oh,
sometimes you just have to step up. I got called in at like 11 o'clock. I wasn't the
wow.
most thrilled, especially because I'm a salary plus bonus. So I don't
Right?
technically get paid just to show up. I get paid based off what I produce.
Yeah.
But again, I'm a company man and I live close. So here I am, and let's make some money.
Did you give up? Are you getting another day off?
No, actually, it actually is worse. So my other guy goes on vacation tomorrow, and then today he is sick. So
Oh,
realistically, I don't think he's
yes.
sick. He just wants the extra day. And like
Yeah.
some days I don't do anything at home and it's fine. But like
Right.
today I genuinely had like stuff to do that I wasn't able to do. So I
Right.
wasn't thrilled. But again, sometimes you get taken advantage when you're a company guy. But guess
Yeah.
what? I'm one of the top guys in the company as far as what I do. So take the good with the bad.
Yep.
There you go. And Reload, I see up there that we must have coordinated on shirts. Look at that.
Yeah,
Both
yeah.
in Vegas.
You said you were just at Costco. That's where I bought this one too. So
It's funny you said that because I got this one at Costco a couple months ago, and I went to look for him again today, and I didn't see him. This is a really comfortable shirt, by the way.
Well, Reload took it from you.
yeah, probably the same ones
Apparently.
I bought. 3 for $10. Can't beat it at
No, and they're
Costco.
really comfortable too. I mean, it is getting colder out here in Vegas. I wake up 4 or 5 in the morning to go out. It's been 55, 60. I actually got to
Wow.
start bringing a little bit of a light jacket. It's getting kind of chilly out here. Usually
Ooh.
around Halloween, by Halloween night, it'll start to be cold. But that's all relevant to where the rest of you guys are at.
Yeah, I was
Yep,
going to
it
say
is.
this morning it was about 41 degrees, and
Yeah.
the high today I think is 55, or that's where you wake up at. So
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Reload, how's Vegas treating you? What's going on, buddy?
Treating me good out here. No days off out here. It's all about the money. It's all about
Yep.
making the bets. And Sammy talks about getting paid for performance. That's us on this show. We're giving out nothing but winners here every week. So hope everyone keeps tuning in.
That's very true. And last but not least, Mr. Donnie Rightside. What's up, Donnie?
Yeah, man, look at this. The NBA's there. Like, we get sad sometimes. Like, Major League Baseball, oh, no, it's only got one series left. But the NBA is here for, like, the next 10 months, it feels like, as they'll run right into June. So now is the time where we look at over the summer and say, boy, it's slow. Enjoy it now. It's high speed. It's fun. It's so many sports here. And this is what we live for as handicappers and gamblers. Great time of the year, man. It is.
It's definitely a good time of year. Unfortunately, my gut was telling me all day yesterday the Lakers, for some reason, I, of course, went to the sports book, placed a bet on them. It lost. Congratulations on the hit on the Lakers.
Welcome to the
Donnie,
season.
but let me get your NBA picks for today.
Yeah, by the way, yesterday I was 1-1 because I actually had the Golden State Warriors, but I thought the 8.5s last night,
How about the
OKC
end of
dipped
that
down to
Houston game?
6.5.
Sorry to interrupt. How about the end
Yeah.
of that Houston game? Double
It's a
overtime?
great game. And you know what's funny about that too? Because I got two lined up tonight that I think are decent. But if we could get if the NBA doesn't go 82 games, and let's just say they cut it down to 50 games, where all the superstars play outside of devastating injuries or injuries that you had like LeBron James, like how much fun was the NBA last night to watch? And it's a shame because in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we don't get this anymore. We get 3 guys sitting out here, 4 guys sitting out here, primetime games without the superstars. Like I just wanted to say, like last night in the NBA, it was good for the NBA to be back and a lot of fun for the people watching the NBA, which during the regular season doesn't happen all that much. But tonight for me, I'm going against my Sixers. I did a video today with BMR earlier at -2 as a favorite for the Boston Celtics. Those lines are gone. They're 4.5s across the board. This is a ragtag Boston lineup out tonight that's gaining steam because I just look at Philadelphia and the 76ers. Nice lineup here. Joel Embiid's going to play tonight. I'm just going to take the Boston Celtics. I got 2, but now it's sitting at 4.5, which is a crazy movement. Game number 2, first game, 226.5 between the Clippers and the Utah Jazz in elevation. I do think the Clippers win, but I don't want to lay roughly double digits. I'm actually going to take the under 226.5 with the Jazz and the Clippers, thinking that elevation first game, maybe the wind isn't all there. Clippers victory stays under the total. That's where I'm going tonight on night number 2, gentlemen.
Thank you, Donnie. Sammy, NBA, night number 2. What do you got?
Basketball, I'm gonna pick the ball.
A little
I think it was
Tesh.
great for NBC because not only are it's like retro back to the
Yeah.
old school. It
Yeah.
sucks for ESPN, and the fact that the first game went into double overtime, the ratings were probably great, and ESPN is probably kicking rocks at that
I'm
decision.
sure.
They've made a bunch of bad decisions, but I love that NBA is back. Obviously, the Knicks start off at home tonight against Cleveland. Unfortunately, Karl Anthony Towns is not going to be playing with a couple other injuries, so they were a favorite. Now Cleveland's looking at -1.5. I know we're going to talk about a segment with Adam Silver. Really, I like to look at a lot of player props. I love betting player props. I think that's a lot of the times the way to go. It's tough on props because they are heavily juiced. So you're not necessarily getting the best juice line. But if you're looking for action but don't want to bet on which team is going to win or lose, because, the runs in basketball is going to be back. So welcome back, bad beats. Welcome back. Oh, my team's up 20 points and all of a sudden they lost by 8. How's that possible? I mean, even look at yesterday. Who was it? So Houston was winning pretty much the whole game. Oklahoma City didn't have a lead in the second quarter all the way up until overtime number 1, and they still win that game by a point. So if you're betting Houston, you probably think you have a 9, you were winning 3/4 of the game up until overtime, and then you came back in overtime. Then overtime 2, KD was out. He called the timeout at the end of number 1. That was
I'm
controversial.
surprised they didn't.
Yep.
I'm
But it
surprised they
was
didn't
pretty
do some
exciting.
kind of
Game one. Welcome back to the NBA. I don't have any pregame bets, but I'll definitely be looking at some live shots, especially at those national TV games.
And you know what? I'm not off the top of my head. I'm not familiar with that rule. I'm surprised they didn't do anything when he called the timeout. They didn't have any left.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like in college basketball, one of the
Yeah.
most famous things of all time. When Michigan called it with Chris Webber, he called the
Yeah,
timeout.
Chris
They got the
Webber, yeah.
technical foul.
Technical foul,
I,
you lose the basketball too. Yeah.
I
Supposedly
saw
the
one
refs
report
didn't.
that say that
Supposedly the refs
KD
didn't
wasn't
see it.
mic'd. I saw it say
Right.
KD wasn't mic'd up, so that's why they didn't hear him say timeout. But I mean, he was
See it
signaling
on
it.
television on the clip. You could see the replay perfectly.
Yeah, it definitely should have been called. I mean, I know you don't want to win or lose a game because of that, but that's the
Right.
rules.
Yeah. Reload over to you, buddy. NBA. What do you got?
Yeah, NBA. I've got, and I looked at the whole board. We touched on the Knicks Cavs game there for a minute. I was liking the Cavs last week when the line on them was like +4, but now because they've shifted to be road favorites, I'm going to pass on the side, but I do like the under 228.5 in that game. With the Knicks injuries and everything else, I think we're going to see a lower scoring game out of the gate for both of those teams. So under 228.5 there. I'm also going to take another under. Donnie was mentioning Celtics Sixers game, the under 229.5 there. I'm going to grab that. Usually the first few games, I try to look for road dogs that can kind of steal a game on the road. But this time it's unders in both of those games. That's what I'm going with.
All righty. Thank you, Reload. And I don't know if you guys saw it this morning on the Pat McAfee show. I just want to go briefly to a clip of Adam Silver. Then, Donnie, we can jump over to you. Apparently, he wants more regulation over the
It
NBA.
introduces a whole new set of issues. One of the issues you see in arenas, and I hear from players and coaches on this, are fans. I mean, who are yelling out about, especially when it's a prop bet. It's
My
less
parlay! Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it's often the case that, your team wins and a player scores, 25 points, but the fan better had bet that the player was going to score 28 points or 30 points or whatever else. So I would say one thing, we sent a memo out to our teams recently, and we made it clear in conversations with them that we want to see strict enforcement of those rules. I mean, we have to protect the competitors. We want to protect the environment in the arena of people getting out of hand. I mean, but as I said, we accept betting is legal in roughly 35 states now in the United States. It's unlikely to go away. I think probably there should be more regulation, frankly. It may be surprising to hear from me.
Yeah. What does he want regulation on? I don't understand. Like, why don't you just regulate fans who can't cheer when the other team's at the free throw line or can't yell things out when you're shooting a 3-point shot? It just doesn't make any sense to me when you sort of say to yourself, I want to regulate this market, but instead we're taking so much money behind the scenes at that point, right? Just crazy.
Exactly. Sammy, your thoughts?
Stupid.
People probably aren't watching the game. Like, think about a diehard fan. They're watching the game because they're a diehard fan. If you're talking about a casual, he's probably not even watching the game unless he has money on the game. So, like,
Correct.
part of your
Exactly.
viewership is from degenerate gamblers that are watching
100%.
to see if their bet's going to win or lose. Now, a couple things. One of the biggest negatives is social media, right? All the death threats and all the this and that because you didn't perform, especially with tennis. You see that all the time. After someone loses a match, they get a bunch of death threats or you're the worst, kill yourself, all that bullshit, right? But when it comes to player props, maybe just take the 3 or 4 stars and give them props. Let's not give the 6-man off the bench that maybe could be vulnerable to having an inside fix, over or under. Maybe let's not give him a prop, but let's make sure that the top stars get props. That's the way to potentially regulate it in my mind, is just not offer every single player props. Like, if the guy's going to score 8 points a game, let's not give him a prop, but the guy that's scoring 25 points a game, let's give them props.
That's understandable, and I could see that possibly happening. I don't know why the screen is like this. I could see that possibly happening in the legalized market. I'm sorry, the legalized market, but I don't see that happening offshore. That's for damn sure. Reload.
Yeah, I think what Silver's saying there, he has to say things like that to try and make everyone feel better about everything or something. But I think there's no way around it with the regulation. I've even heard I heard something last week or so. They want to allow college athletes to bet on sports now and have them be allowed to do that now. I heard. So there's no regulation anymore. If they have fewer props on the board, there'll be somewhere in the world you could still bet those props. Believe me, somebody will be putting them up anyway. So no matter how much they try to do to at least reduce what's available on the screen, there's always going to be some other way to do it. I do agree. I do think the most vulnerable players are the ones that make lower salaries and probably are just gambling themselves and gambling problems themselves. So limiting it to stars would be great, but I just think it's pretty hard to do any kind of regulation now.
Thank you, gentlemen, for that. Donnie, let's jump over to you, buddy. MLB World Series, Dodgers and Blue Jays starting this Friday.
Yeah, it's interesting here as you take a look at this series coming up because I do think it's entertaining. I like the fact that Toronto's in it. They got some hot bats coming into the playoffs and also sustain those hot bats. But the one thing we do know is every single time the Dodgers throw a starting pitcher out there, it's like the best pitcher in the world. Like Blake Snell's going to start, and his playoff ERA is like a .86. I mean, it's ridiculous. Then Yamamoto's going to go 2, and then Shohei Ohtani will be in there, and away you go in this. I'm rooting for Toronto, but I'm not crazy as well. You look the way the September went for the Dodgers, then into the playoffs. They are so absolutely dominant. You would be crazy to pick Toronto, but Toronto is at home. They have to win one of those first 2 games, and quite frankly, need to jump out and maybe win game 1 to say, okay, Dodgers, slow your roll at this point. The price point isn't advantageous, I should say, to take the Dodgers, but neither is the underdog. Like, I honestly don't think Toronto can win. I'm rooting for them, but that's my betting analysis. Like, if it's minus 200, minus 250 on the Dodgers, price appropriate here. They're playing that good with superstars every single night on the mound where you're going to take a look at possibly Toronto going, hey, bullpen game number 2. The Dodgers are like, yeah, ace on the mound game number 2. I got to take the Dodgers, even at that price point, and they're not even a home field advantage team.
You, Donnie. Sammy, MLB World Series. What do you like for the series?
Yeah, and also keep in mind, too, that Dodgers have the experience. Blue Jays haven't been there since 1993. So
Right.
there might not even be players that were born, before the last time they even made it to the World Series. Whereas the Dodgers are repeat champions from last year, back-to-back World Series. And again, they're pitching, they're batting 1-9. Again, Donnie, hit all the highlights. If you're looking for value, I try and find something there. Under 5.5 games, if you think Dodgers might win, maybe 4-1. That's plus money at plus 140, and that's what I'm looking at. I think maybe Blue Jays squeak a game, but Dodgers in 5 for me.
All righty. Thank you, Sammy. Reload. World Series. What do you got?
Yeah, well, I know with everyone here, I do think the Dodgers take the series, and if you do want to take them, you have to find some kind of creative way. I don't think just taking them straight up to win the series is best. I think follow what Sammy was saying there, or try something like that. But as far as game 1 goes, I am going to take the Blue Jays in the first game plus 130 at home. The Blue Jays are 4-1 at any plus odds spots they've had in the postseason. I do agree with Donnie that they're going to have to feel some intensity right out of the gate. I think they're going to treat this kind of like the series against the Yankees went, where they knew, really there was only a 5-game series, but they knew every every game, especially the ones right out of the gate, meant something. They had to get on the board. They had to get that first game locked in and treat that like a must win. And I think you're going to see that out of them in the first game. I am going to wait things out a little, see how the number moves, hoping to get maybe higher than plus 130, maybe even plus 140. So wait it out, but I'm going the Jays with the first game.
All righty, Reload. Thank you. And poker is back, boys. As you all know, poker week number 10. So you have a few more chances to get your hands on some weekly baller coins and a few more chances to cash your ticket for the tournament of events where we give away some major baller coins to our participants. But Sammy, let me jump it over to you. Let's talk a little bit of college football. Week number 9 is coming up. How was last week for you?
Yeah. So last week, kind of good. Bama keeps rolling. Penn State keeps losing. Texas barely squeaked by, and a couple big upsets. I know Reload had one of the upsets with Miami losing, and then Texas Tech went down. So other than Ohio State at number 1, the whole rankings 2 through 10 completely switched up. So pretty exciting week if you're into the mayhem of college. And again, I guess over the last few years, allowing 12 teams to make the playoffs is now adding for that versatility from week to week. This week, not a ton of top 25 matchups, only 3 of them on the board. You got Ole Miss, number 8 at number 13, Oklahoma. Oklahoma's about a touchdown favorite, minus 5.5, minus 6, depending on where you're at. Ole Miss coming off that loss to Georgia. I thought Ole Miss should have covered. They had kind of a little bit unlucky at the end, but I'm going to take Ole Miss again on the road. I think they can keep it close, maybe within a field goal. You got Missouri, number 15 at number 10, Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, a small field goal favorite. I'm going to keep rolling with them. Again, Vanderbilt, a team that barely could put together a few wins a couple years ago, now ranked into the top 10. So that's a good turnaround for that program. And then the marquee matchup, the 7:30 matchup, number 3 Texas A&M at number 20 LSU, and A&M is a small road field goal favorite. That's one of those trap games, going into LSU. Got at 7:30. The crowd is going to be loud. The lights will be bright. That's a game that, for me, I'm not going to be betting pregame. Maybe try and find a spot at a live spot to go after.
All righty, Sammy. Thank you. Donnie, week number 9 in college football. How was last week, week 8 for you, and what do you got this weekend?
Yeah, last week was fun. Loved Vanderbilt in their game. They picked up a victory over LSU. Also, Diego Pavia over 56.5 rushing yards hit that prop as well. This week, not as good a games as we saw last week. The SEC was absolutely spectacular. 2 games to look at in the ACC this week, Syracuse and Georgia Tech. By the way, Georgia Tech looks like they have an angle here for the ACC championship game and a possible playoff here. Haynes King, their quarterback back. He knows a running quarterback is going to score a rushing touchdown. If he does, it's a minus 350 price. So you probably got to pair him up with somebody else. Jamal Haynes in the backfield as well probably gets a touchdown. I'll lay the 17.5 for Syracuse. Decent team last year. They haven't looked at all decent this year. I think Georgia Tech puts a hammer on them. And then staying in the ACC, Miami, reeling from that loss last week to Louisville. I do think they play better this week, but better enough to win by 31 points over Stanford. Stanford was game last week against Florida State. Stanford will lose this game, but I don't know if Miami wins by 4+ touchdowns. Give me Stanford 30.5 this week in the ACC against Miami.
All righty, thank you. And Reload, college football this weekend, and how was last week for you, buddy? I know Sam briefly touched on it.
Was great. Yeah, last week was great. I did have that winner with Louisville over Miami on the Friday night game, and then went 2-1 Saturday with Michigan State, the backdoor cover over Indiana, and Kentucky plus 12.5, losing in overtime to Texas. But how's that? Getting 12.5 points going into overtime, as rocking chair as you could get there. So good week then. Looking to stay hot here. I've got 4 picks this week. All home teams. In October, I think the home teams start barking. That starts to show itself a lot. I'm going to start with Oklahoma minus 5.5 against Ole Miss. I think this is one of these spots where, a lot of people think, oh, Ole Miss, how could they possibly lose again how could they possibly lose 2 in a row or whatever against when they lost to Georgia last week? But Oklahoma is strong, 3-0 against the spread in their 3 spots as a favorite of 6.5 or less. I think they run it up here against Ole Miss and get the big win at home. Also going with South Carolina plus 12.5 at home against Alabama. Bama did not cash in their 2 road chalk spots this season. They tended to just squeak by there. I'm going to take the points at home with South Carolina. They did cash in their only double-digit dog spot this season. So same thing here, good value at plus 12.5. I'm also going to take Mississippi State plus 7 against Texas. Bulldogs, Mississippi State at home. They are 3-1 against the spread in their 4 spots as an underdog all year long, including 2-0 as a home dog. So good spot here for a home dog of plus 7, and Texas 0-3 against the spread in all of their true road games. So Mississippi State going with them. And finally, the 4th pick, Michigan State plus 14.5 against Michigan. Michigan State 3-0 against the spread in the 3 spots as a dog, and their 3 spots as a dog, and Michigan 1-2 against the spread in 3 as a double-digit favorite. And those are my picks.
All righty, Reload. Thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it. Sammy, let me jump over to you. Week 7 in the NFL. How was it for you, buddy?
Yeah, not too bad. I went 5-2, but unfortunately, I lost my 7 confidence picks. So from a contest standpoint, I got 18 points, which is above average. It's where you want to be.
Right.
But nothing too bad. So 18 points. You did have one guy that went undefeated last week. Shout out to Go Bucks. He was 7-0, 28 points. And you did have 2 guys that were 6-1 with 27 points. That's Deeps Freak and Live Lucky 13. Overall on the leaderboard, I'm still there. I'm sitting at 4th place right now, tied with Dual Grab at 120 points. 1st through 5 is all within 8 points, so we're all within a fighting chance here. So me and Dual Grab at 120. You got Polo GQ at 123. JR Groom 2nd place with 126, and our leader right now, Try with 128 points.
All righty, Sammy. Thank you, Donnie. Let me jump over to you. Week 7 in the NFL. How was it?
Yeah, not bad. 5-2 last week for me in the contest. I think I'm 28-21 on the season, but sometimes missing some of those 7s. But I am creeping back up. I was in like the 40s and 50s a couple weeks ago. I think I'm like 10 or 11 right now as we shoot up there. So things starting to turn around. Put another couple good weeks together and see if we can crack into that top 10, top 5, and see if we can do some damage. But good week again last week. It's been pretty good the past couple weeks.
Awesome. Reload. Week 7. How was it for you, buddy?
Yeah, it was a good week. And wow, try at leading a contest. Wow. What else is new? He's only done that for about 20 years on the forums. So shout out to him. Wow, great to see he's still doing his thing out there. For me, yeah, NFL was great last week. 3-1 overall. Lost with the Raiders, but had the Raiders KC under. The Raiders certainly did their part for that at least. And cashed with the Cardinals against Green Bay and cashed with the 49ers Sunday night. This week, I'm going with Broncos at home, minus 3.5 against the Cowboys. I think that number is pretty short. I think it should be quite higher, more like the line was against the Giants. So I like Broncos minus 3.5 there. Second pick is Pittsburgh Steelers plus 3 as a home dog to Green Bay. Pitt gets the longer rest here after losing the Thursday night game to Cincy. And kind of surprised to see them as a home dog. I thought this game would be maybe at least more of a pick 'em. So plus 3 with the Steelers. And for my third pick, only going with 3 picks this week, the Kansas City Chiefs, Washington Commanders under on Monday night, 47.5. I'm going to ride the KC under again here. I took it the last 2 weeks. This is the third game in the homestand for them, and I'm just going to ride it again. Under 47.5 there.
All righty, Reload. Good luck with that. Donnie, over to you. Week number 8 in the NFL, buddy. What do you got, and what do you got for your 7?
Yeah, let's go for the 7 here. Now, one game, sometimes you got to take the contrarian view. I have no idea how the Texans are now a minus 1.5 point favorite against the 49ers. I'm going to take the 49ers because you have new Nico Collins probably with a concussion this week. I just don't see how they survive. I'll take the public advantage here, and I'm going to just back the public with the 49ers. Game number 2. I think the Eagles do beat the Giants, but that pro here is 7.5 on the price point here on the contest. I'm going to take the Giants to keep this one close. Eagles win, but not enough to cover the 7.5. Also, the Ravens. We don't know if Lamar Jackson's playing or not. If he does play, how healthy will he be? That team has been an absolute wreck, and I don't know if Lamar Jackson makes up like 28 points in game differences here, the way the Ravens have played. I'll take the Bears getting 6.5 points in that game. The Saints at home against the Buccaneers. Give me the 4.5 points. The Bucs might win this game, but the Bucs are extremely damaged goods as well in the backfield and at wide receiver. Now, Baker Mayfield missing some practice time early in the week. Give me the Saints plus 4.5. I'll take the Cowboys to go up against Reload at the 3.5. I think this game is close, and quite frankly, not for a Giants collapse last week. They were down 19-0, getting shut out into the fourth quarter. Dallas's offense is humming right now. They should be able to go blow for blow with the Broncos. I'll take the points in that one. And this one, the Titans are horrible. The Colts are really good. 14.5 is a hook to beat a team by 2 touchdowns in the NFL. Give me the Titans. Nobody wants the Titans. I'll take them getting 2.5 touchdowns in this game. And then the Chiefs on Monday Night Football, 11.5-point favorites. Marcus Mariota's a quarterback. Get out of town. The Chiefs' defense is legit. I'm with Reload. I think this game stays under, and I still think the Chiefs cover double digits.
Yes, Sammy. Thank you, Donnie. Sammy,
Yeah.
you good?
Yeah, a lot of spreads this week with 6-7 points. All right. I just learned about that bullshit like a week ago. I don't even know what it is. But anyway, in terms of my picks, I agree with
some TikTok trend or something.
I'm not on TikTok.
You're not. How could you not be on TikTok?
Well, I'm not on TikTok because I'm above the age group. Anyway.
So am I, but there's a lot of actually you could find a lot of interesting shit on TikTok, even sports related. There's a lot of travel related. There's a ton of interesting stuff on there, Sam.
I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm not on TikTok. All right.
There's a guy I follow on there that he does like car salesman. You could make a great career giving car salesman advice.
I tried. I never went viral. I've been on Vine. I've been on Instagram. I've been on YouTube. I've been on Twitter. I posted my tennis picks for 3 years on Twitter. I didn't get anywhere. All right. Sometimes you either get lucky or you don't. All right. I'm not going to go viral. It's not going to happen. I've accepted it. I'm not getting on TikTok. Do you want my picks, Bobby, or not? All right.
Yes. Go on.
All right. So I'm with Donnie. In the last 2 weeks, the Giants have been on this beautiful hook number, and they keep covering that 7.5. I love the number. I say it every week. Giants won straight up last time against the Eagles. Eagles, in theory, should win this game. But you know what? Giants are a hot team, and unless they fold like they did last week, I like them to cover. Same with the Panthers, plus 7.5. They're another hot team. They're 3-0 at home this year, and they got the great 7.5 number at home to the Bills. Bills are coming off of a bye, and they are a little bit, they're in second place now in the division, so they're hungry again. But I think the Panthers can keep it close and get that cover at plus 7.5. I like Cincinnati minus 6.5 over the Jets. Jets stink, right? We can all agree on that. And Cincinnati, they're not the greatest team, but with Joe Flacco and that high-powered offense, they're going to do enough to beat the Jets. I like the Patriots minus 6.5 over the Browns. Patriots are taking advantage of their super weak schedule, but in the end of the day, you got to beat who's in front of you. And if the Browns are in front of them, I think the Patriots take care of business at home. Of course, I like the Cowboys plus 3.5 at Denver.
Right,
Again, I'll say it every week, and Dallas keeps winning that when I pick them. Dallas is the best offense in the league. They're the worst defense in the league. I need Dallas to make 3 plays. They need to get a couple sacks and 1 turnover. I don't need them to be great. They can give up 25 points a game. But just like that Detroit offense, are you going to put up 35 every week? I think Dallas can, and all they got to do is make a couple stops on defense. I am against Donnie. I'm going to go with Indianapolis over Tennessee. But then I do agree with Donnie on Monday night. I'm taking Kansas City to smoke the Washington.
Smoke them.
All righty, Sammy. Thank you. And thank you, gentlemen. Good luck on all your plays, and good luck to everyone out there watching on all your action. There's a lot of great sports. We got NBA, NHL, MLB World Series, the list, NFL, the list, college
UFC.
football, the list, tennis. Sam, I think you had a couple tennis, by the way?
I don't have any tennis plays because they're all playing like in countries that aren't prime to Eastern, but the tennis thread is looking good. I'm plus 10 units on the year. We got about a month left of the season, and then we got that 6 weeks lull in late November, early December, so they go back to Australia. But yeah, the year-end finals, the women's starts November 1st, and then the men's will be about a week and a half afterwards, so getting excited for the year-end finals.
Let's get it.
Awesome. Well, as always, guys, well, not as always, 'cause I never say it, but with all the sports action, make sure you have proper bankroll management. Don't bet above your head. There's a lot of action. Pick your spots and pick some winners. And we will see you on the forum.
Pick your nose.
See ya.
All right.